Welcome everybody to World of Tanks Replays. My name is Maxwell and today's first replay is from the user Nagar. I think that's how it's pronounced. That's Nagar, and he's driving the A44 on a standard battle on the Pearl River. A44 being a tier 7 medium tank for the Russians. One of those ones with the turret mounted in the rear. Thankfully this one does traverse all the way around, so at least it's got that going for it. So straight away, Nagar going to be heading to the right-hand flank here. Going to see if he can get there early and get some eyes on the enemy, or maybe even outmaneuver them. See a VK2801 in the centre there, doing battle with that Cromwell. Nagar hasn't spotted anybody out here, so decides to cut left up the road here and make an early path to see if he can get the drop on some of the enemy tanks. Making his way around and up the hill. Rest of the allied team heading up that northern path there. They've got quite a few tanks in the centre, not very many in the south there. Only light tanks and one lightly armoured tank destroyer, so that little battle there might not bode well for them. Cromwell all on his own still in the centre, although he does have the backup of a couple of heavy tanks. Nagar gets a great shot through the armour of that T-29 to take out his track as well. T-29 looks like he wants to have a go, as does the VK2801. T-29 still focused completely on that Cromwell. Set him on fire. The T-29 is running a premium fire extinguisher. The VK gets around the corner again to try and have another shot. Unfortunately, didn't quite have time to aim that one. T-29's now spun himself around and got his front armour back onto target, but it looks like he doesn't really want to have much of this duel. Allied team turning up from the rear now. It looks like no enemies whatsoever have gone to that northern flank, which is a little bit unusual, as you can't really see the whole of the enemy team. There are a couple of tanks in the centre and a few in the south there, but that nowhere near makes up the entirety of the enemy team. Does take out the T-29's track, so he's not going to be able to do much for now. Gonna maybe just continue pinning him in place until some allies can turn up and offer him some help. M4 and another T-29 come round the rear. He turns his turret to face them. Kagar gonna put himself out, gets a shot any minute now. There we go. Gets a shot through the side of the turret to take him out and pick up his first kill of the match. Decides now to relocate as that fight in the centre is all but over. Although you can see the enemy team starting to push quite hard in the south there. If that's not dealt with very, very soon, that's going to become an overwhelming force any moment now. Allies only got 2 light tanks and that E25 in there. They do have a Panzer 4H camped way, way in the back. He really needs to get his skates on, get moving, and go and try and offer some support to that southern flank. I would not be surprised, though, if he just sits there for the entirety of the game. Allies starting a base capture here, but there is an E25 inbound, so you can guarantee that he's going to stop that one. Looks like the Panzer 4S isn't interested in the cap anyway. And Kagar's going to have to be careful now, as he is the only person heading down the southern flank to offer any kind of help there. You can see all of the heavy tanks in the centre focused on trying to take out that Chinook Kai, and quite a few of the other heavy tanks and mediums focusing on trying to hit that E25. Pops over the hill, spots out the entirety of the enemy team, has a quick shot at the T-34-85, straightens up beautifully, so he bounces. Now he's going to have to fall back, as there are way too many tanks here for him to deal with. Panzer 4H is now making a move, but making the wrong move. It looks like he's just going to charge headlong into the enemy team, but at least he's going to provide some kind of meat shield, and hopefully Nagar can get around the sides and the rear and do some damage. Most of the allied team seem to have just fallen apart in the centre here. They are still chasing this Chinook Kai, but for winning overwhelmingly in the north and in the centre there, they have now been whittled down something rotten, and they're currently losing this one at 5 kills to 11. Nagar's going to have to pull out some absolutely brilliant play here. Finds a Chaffee making a move and takes him out. Looks like the Chaffee was maybe going for a little bit of a flanking maneuver, but he gets stopped dead in his tracks. Going to see who we can find now. Nobody in this location. Looks like most of the enemy team have gone for the cap circle. At least 3 of them in there. Beautiful shot by the Tiger P to take out the Jackson. And the Tiger P looks like he may be offering some kind of base defense. Everybody just getting picked off by that enemy E25. Gonna see if who he can find in the cap circle. Finds the T-3485 that he hit from earlier. He gets shot once and then taken out by the Tiger P. So a nice little 1-2 there by the Allies. Gonna see if he can get another shot on the other A-43. But it looks like he's just able to get himself behind the Churchill 1 in time. Didn't take any damage. One more quick shot should be enough to take out the Churchill 1 here, although he is still looking for the A-43. Not quite. Oh, no, there we go. Hits the A-43 rather than the Churchill 1. That Tiger P still over on the other side there across the river. Now going to have to take out this Churchill 1. To be honest, you're probably just going to have to charge around the corner for this Churchill 1, which indeed he does. Takes him out for kill number 4. Still losing this one considerably, a 13 kills to 10. Enemy team has a couple of tank destroyers and some other larger tanks still in there. And that Chi Nu Kai that 3 or 4 people went to chase is still alive. Hopefully this Tiger P can take him out now. But it seems like this Chi Nu Kai is cursed. Everybody who tries to go and kill him ends up dead. Finds the Hellcat. If he can get it. Oh, very unlucky to get just a critical hit there. As the Hellcat returns fire, takes out his track and takes out his ammo rack. Decides not to waste a shell on the Hellcat. Just rams him full on in the face to take him out. Doesn't want to risk another critical hit there. So even the play up nicely at 12 kills to 13, only losing by 1. An IS, a T-150 and an E-25 for the enemy team. Nagar going to be flanking around and coming to join up with the Tiger P. Wants to stick close to the Tiger P as he's got a lot of hit points there. And he's going to be pretty damn difficult to damage from the front. So if he could defend the Tiger P's rear, the two of them should be able to hold off the enemy. That is provided that the enemy isn't just going to camp. E-25 notorious for trying to camp. He did sit on his side of the base and just eliminate all of the allied team. So there we go. There is the IS. And it's going to be pretty difficult for this IS to get any damage on this Tiger P from the front. Although Nagar doesn't want to be the one to take a shot from the IS, so he's just backing off, allowing the Tiger P to be that bullet sponge. It looks like he's going to try and flank around. Did somebody have a shot there? Maybe they did from the base. Nobody getting highlighted up there, so got to be careful here that he doesn't get spotted. I think he's probably dropped back into the fog of war now. His camo's probably kicked back in. Somebody started a base capture here and he has been spotted. Another shot rains in. Not sure if that's the T-150 or the E-25. Nagar just going to leave the IS in the capable hands of the Tiger P. Just going to put faith in his friend there. Just warning the Tiger P that there are people at the base, so he's got to watch his rear armor, that he doesn't get shot. He still hasn't taken any damage, and to be honest, this Tiger P with his frontal armor could easily just go and charge down the IS and take him out, but he's just electing not to just now. Nagar finds the T-150. He is on full health. Going to crest the ridge to maybe try and get a shot at him. Spots the E-25 on the left-hand side. Going to allow his gun just long enough to close in. It was all that was required. He hits the E-25 to take him out for a Top Gun medal. And that just leaves the T-150 and this IS. The IS is now pushing down on the Tiger P, who switched his attention across to the cap circle to get a hit on that T-150. He's got to make sure that he doesn't totally neglect that IS and get shot to bits, though. Got to leave the T-150 in the hands of Nagar at the moment. And just trying to outmaneuver each other here. Doesn't want to take any damage. I think that was probably a misclick. He doesn't want to take any damage from the front from this T-150 as he's only got 280 hit points left. Looks like the T-150 is content to hide behind the hill just now, so Nagar going to head into the centre and see if he can come around behind this IS. He has been spotted coming in, but hopefully the IS isn't paying attention to the minimap, and to be honest, even if he is, if the Tiger P chooses this opportunity to push at the same time, there's going to be nothing this IS is going to be able to do, as he's not going to be able to advance forwards because of the Tiger P, and he's not going to be able to come backwards because of Nagar. Backwards is where he chooses to go. He gets taken out, kill number 7. Now they're going to have to make a move towards this cap circle. And I'm pretty sure that was that a fairly high roll at 303. Average damage of 300, so not really. Now it's going to be a case of playing it careful to come down on this T-150. This Tiger P should be more than capable of just going in and absolutely face rolling this guy. But Nagar doesn't really want to get shot by the T-150 as he only has 280 hit points left. I think that's probably 2 hits from the T-150, although I could be wrong. Flanking around the right hand side, he decides to take the very long route as the Tiger P is en route as well. So going to take the long route around, come at the T-150 from the rear, and that should give the Tiger P enough chance to get into position as well. You can see just making his way down the road here, pretty much perfectly timed as the Tiger P comes around the corner as well. Oh, the T-150 has been making a run for it, and he's running this direction. Going to have to be very, very careful here as he doesn't want to get hit too hard by this T-150. Tiger P's probably not going to be able to make it in time before Nagar either kills the T-150 or gets killed himself. Luckily, the first shot from the T-150 only takes his track out. Looks like he's going to come in for the ram. Does he weigh enough? Nowhere near. Doesn't do any damage at all to Nagar and gets taken out for his trouble for a well-deserved Radley Walters medal. So absolutely awesome replay from you and Nagar, showing your skills in the A44 medium tank, flanking around the enemy, using positioning and outmaneuvering them at every single turn. So absolutely awesome replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget to stick around, guys, because as always there is another replay coming right up. And our second replay today is from the user StinkyBean60. That is StinkyBean60, and he's driving the WZ1111-4 on an assault battle on Corellia, and they are attacking. So, straight away, StinkyBean going to be heading to the southern area of the map. Going to be moving up into the rocks here, getting into an advanced position. The WZ is a pretty nice tier 9 heavy tank for the Chinese. Sorry I didn't say that at the beginning, but it is a pretty nice heavy tank. Has an OK cannon, pretty good armor, pretty good maneuverability for a heavy, and just handles very nice. Feels like a good tank to drive. So we're going to be having a look around, seeing who he can see. There's still quite a few enemies lagging behind there. You can see that T20 and that M103 still at spawn there. So StinkyBean doesn't want to get too far advanced before the rest of his team is in position. Don't want to get caught out. Finds a T25-2. I think he's too busy typing in chat. Luckily, he's able to traverse his gun in time, but just about misses that one, which is a little bit unfortunate. Lucky for him, he didn't take any damage either. Thankfully, he was pretty much hull down there, so even if the T25-2 had hit, probably would have bounced that one. Still talking in chat. There we go. Gonna have another look at this T25-2, who is now fully up the hill. Artillery shells land. Did get a great hit on the T25 there, and he's just going to be forced to fall back. Takes a big hit from the Allied artillery. Going to see if he can sneak a shot into the fog of war against him. Looks like that one didn't land in the end. Takes a hit in the side. I think that was possibly from that KV-3 there. So he's going to advance up and try and get into a better hull down position, or just maybe going to charge down the enemy tanks. You see a couple of heavies in the far left-hand side there, dueling it out with the Allied tanks. StinkyBean just going to be having a little look to see if he can see anybody. think he's decided to have a little bit of a change of plan now, as nobody's really pushing over the little ridge there for him to be able to get a shot at. So he advances more towards the centre here, try and make a nuisance of himself, as it looks like there isn't really any enemy tanks around this location. And if he's going to be able to outflank the enemy in a heavy, that will be some very nice going. As you can see, he's up to about 50 kilometers an hour, which is very, very fast for a heavy tank. Does take some fire from somewhere, so somebody has spotted him coming in here. But he's able to get to the ridgeline and to safety without too much trouble. Now he's going to try and flank around the side of the enemy here and see if he can put some shots into the side and rear armor. Still trying to get a shot on that T-25-2 to finish him off, but he refuses to die and is continuing to limp on. Going to pop his head up to see if he can get some shots on anybody camping at the back here. Does find a T-29, let down a little bit by his gun depression there. Not able to land anything on him. Does take a hit from the T-29, but the T-29's got nowhere near enough damage. Fires at the cupola of the E-75, but not able to land anything. No damage done. E-75 camping at the back there is going to be a little bit of trouble for the Allies, as the E-75 is a difficult beast to shift, but I'm not too sure why he's camping at the back here. Does take a hit, but doesn't do any damage. Gets a nice shot through the side of the E-75. No idea why the E-75 was showing side armor, but indeed he was. Now he's spotted out the artillery, and unfortunately for the artillery, looks like he doesn't have sixth sense. He has no idea that he's been spotted. Allows his gun to close all the way in there, so he can guarantee the kill on that one. He's in a great position right now to be able to lay fire down on the unsuspecting enemy team from these angles without taking any damage in return. Just trying to see which one of these he'd rather hit. Takes out the IS-8 in the end for kill number 2. Does see the KV-3. He's got to be careful though, because like I said, he's got his side and rear armor pointed towards the enemy team here, so if he takes a shot, it's going to be a damaging one. Looks like his allies have realized that they've got this one in the bag and now are pushing over in the north. Takes an early shot at the KV-3 there to take him out for kill number 3. T-29 getting a little bit brave here and pushing himself forward. Stinky Bean going to head around the corner and see if he can just eliminate him. Keeps the corpse of the T-29 between himself and the E-75s. Doesn't want to take too much damage. Not quite in a side-scraping position with the Tiger P. Does get ammo rack, but repairs that one up. Now he's going to push down on the E-75. Nope, he's going to elect to go for the Tiger P instead. Just keeping an eye on the E-75 to make sure he doesn't push completely around the corner, which indeed he does. Sets him on fire now, and he gets finished off by the Jag Tiger 88. Very nice bit of teamwork there just to eliminate one of the biggest threats on the enemy team. Now going to push around the rear of the Tiger P here. And is... well, actually it's the front of the Tiger P, so decides to go for the Jag Tiger 88 instead, as he is a lot more dangerous of a threat. Jag Tiger 88 for some reason spins around, puts his front armor on target of Stinky Bean, but just presents all of his rear armor to the massed guns behind him. To be honest, that was definitely the wrong choice there. I'd rather have my rear armor pointed towards one gun than have it pointed towards 5 guns. Just going to be dueling it out with this Tiger P now. It should be a relatively easy job to finish him off. Only got 15 hit points left, but Stinky Bean's going to have to wait on that 11, almost 12 second reload before he can finish him. Unless the Tiger P decides to scurry away, and then he's going to get taken out by all the guns behind him. Nope. Stinky Bean's able to get that one and pick up kill number 5. That leaves 4 tanks left for the enemy team, and they are all in the north section of the map, and they're all fairly evenly matched with the allied tanks that are up there. So it's going to take a while for the allies to come in from the south and offer them any kind of support. Finds an IS here, and the aiming time on this cannon is quite long, as you can see. Just waiting for it to focus all the way in here. Can see a tiny bit of the IS, but unfortunately not landing that shot, and I'm not surprised with the small amount of that IS that he could see. To be honest, he probably wants to forget about the IS just now and move up, although he does have a little bit of time as he's waiting for his allies to appear. M103 lands a flush shot on him, and that just snaps him out of his tunnel vision there, so he can move forward and lay some fire down on some of the other enemy tanks, trying to sneak a shot under the turret of the T-34, which he does indeed. M103 still focusing down. Does a lovely little maneuver there to force the M103 to miss Now going to focus back on the T-34. Only got 22 hit points, but it's worth it to take the gun out of the battle. He is a one-shot for the M103 right now, but angled beautifully. He only hits the rangefinder. Got to work really carefully with this gun depression here. As you can see, it's very, very difficult to land shots on some enemy tanks. But there's just this Black Prince left who takes out his track. It's not going to be enough. There's no way this Black Prince is going to win this duel. Gets one shot, but gets taken out in return. That's 4,500 points of damage, 7 kills, and absolutely masterfully played bit of flanking work there from Stinky Bean 60. It's absolutely awesome replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget, guys, if you've got yourself a great replay, send that into replay@screenreality.com. The link for that is in the description. Just attach the replay file itself or the link to the What Replay website to the email, and I can check that one out for you. So don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, you found it useful, informative, you liked it, or you learned something, think about hitting that subscribe button, because there's a lot more World of Tanks content on this channel. I've been Maxwell, this has been World of Tanks Replays, and I'll catch you guys next time.